Okay, well, the earthquakes are not the only thing taking place today. There is news breaking everywhere. I mean, the Middle East is up in smoke, right? You got Damascus. I mean, does Assad get a free pass today? Does he just get to go out and kill another 150 today? He's killed 1,000 people in 8 days. 10,000 in a year. 24,000 have refugees have went into Turkey. 35,000 refugees are in Jordan. I don't know how many went to Lebanon and how many are missing. Yet this guy's still in power. That's another veiled threat that President Obama made and when he spoke about Assad cannot remain in power. Now, it's not the only thing he said. A few days ago, or maybe yesterday, I can't remember, things are happening so fast, he said, North Korea, you better not launch this missile, or I'll shut off all food aid to you. Thanks. We already sent him $100 million. While these earthquakes are rattling the world, shaking up the Indian Ocean, threatening tsunami warnings all throughout the region and Indonesia, 8.6 earthquake, the 9th largest earthquake in history, hitting today on this April 11th, 2012. And then 2 hours later, guess what, folks? 8.2 just hit again. About 115 miles further away in the Indian Ocean, there near the coast of Indonesia. 2 hours apart? 8.6, 8.2? You calling that an aftershock? An 8.2? While that's going on, though, guess what? Kim Jong-un has the rocket on the launching pad, putting fuel in it. And here's the information. A defiant North Korea begins injecting fuel into the rocket. Impoverished North Korea rejected the international protest over its planned long-range rocket launch. Get some coffee. Get some coffee. And said on Wednesday that it was injecting fuel as we speak. As we speak. Meaning it could blast off as early as tomorrow. If all goes to plan, the launch, which North Korea's neighbors and the West say is a disguised ballistic missile test, will take a 3-stage rocket over a sea separating the Korean peninsula from China before releasing a satellite into orbit when the 3rd stage fires over the waters near the Philippines. Regional powers also worry it could be the prelude to another nuclear test, a pattern that the hermit state seems to do dating back to 2009. We don't really care about the opinions from the outside. This is the critical in order to develop to our national economy, said Park Chang-ho, head of the Satellite Control Center at the Korean Committee of Space Technology. He's not too worried about it. He's not worried about whether this is a feng shui or a wong shu, because Park Chang-ho is answering to Kim Jong-un, the son of Kim Jong-il. So it's all happening there. What? It's all happening there. Now, it's called the Korean Committee of Space Technology. Now, one of the refueling has been completed. The North Koreans will have to inject chemicals into the rocket which cause corrosion, which means the firing could come tomorrow, Thursday, April the 12th, 2012, at the start of a 5-day window announced already. So any time in there, 2012, 2016, 17, whatever. They can do whatever they want. Does it really matter? They tell you what they're going to do, and then they go and do it. We tell you what we're going to do, and then we think about it. And we forget about it. Unless it's convenient to think about it again. I mean, it's a joke. Okay, so while this is going on, weather conditions could change the plans. And blah, blah, blah. You know what? So okay, so while you got earthquakes in diverse places, you got nations rising against nations and kingdoms against kingdoms. You got famines and you have pestilence. You have earthquakes in different places. But all of this is just beginning of sorrow. Don't be shook up. False Christs are going to rise. The Antichrist is on his way. Technology for the mark of the beast is already here. And it's even officially accepted in the Obamacare bill if you want to put the microchip in your hand or in your frontlets of your head. Obamacare bill is actually more than one bill. It's H.R. 4872 and H.R. 3590, and you can even go back to George Bush's days back in 2004. It was the FDA that approved the development of a radio frequency identification device. Back in 2004, it was approved that the FDA come up with one. And Obamacare in 2010, when it was passed, it says it needs to be implemented. It's a Class 2 device. Healthcare records registry, CPS ability, health records information capability, license number, bank account, GPS, debit card capabilities. It's all there. Okay? So you got wars and rumors of wars. You got earthquakes in diverse places. You got dead birds falling out of the sky. Nobody can answer that one, except the prophet Hosea. That's why I wrote the book, Hosea Prophecy. I had somebody ask me, so what did you write the book for? I guess I didn't have nothing else to do. I wasn't on The Price of Right. I didn't go on The Price of Right with Drew Carey. I'm not on Jeopardy tonight. I don't know. I'm not going to go hang out and watch Justin Bieber get slimed. And I could care less about the desperate housewives in Atlanta. No offense, ladies. And what about Lady Gaga, speaking of ladies? What? Or that Nicki Minaj? Do you guys... So, I thought, you know what? God, what do you want me to do? God said, go on the internet, go on YouTube, preach the gospel every day. Now I'm host a radio show, tell people, it's the coming apocalypse. Write a couple books God gave me. Explaining why the dead birds, dead fish, dead cows are dying. Well, you can find that right here in the Hosea prophecy. I'll break it down for you. It's in the Bible. It's in the book of Hosea. The 4th chapter, if you want to read it. Verses 1, 2, and 3 tells you what's going to happen because man won't repent of his sins. And we wrote the book, the Hosea prophecy. Find out more about that at my website. Or, why did that lake turn blood red in Texas? Well, I wrote the book, Texas Blood Lake. It's more than just a lake blood red in Texas, folks. It's the plagues that's come upon us. How about 40 days of 100-degree heat in Dallas? How about a 700-foot sinkhole, 150 feet deep in Texas? What about the fact that Texas was averaging 5 million cattle a year in the state of Texas? Last year we only had 4.4 million. A decrease of 12%. What about the worst drought in 125 years history? What about the biggest hail in the history? Record-breaking hail, record-breaking heat, record-breaking cold. What? And disease in the cattle. It's all in the book, the Hosea prophecy and Texas Blood Lake. You can find out about both of the books here. They're at my website at paulbegleyprophecy.com. What I'm basically saying is, you're just, folks, we're living on the brink of the beast that will rise. We're watching catastrophes, apocalyptic events. Something biblically is going on with the signs of the second coming of Christ. Got the 188-day earthquake cycle. Guess when the next one's due? It's hit a major quake, I believe 7.0, has hit in 5 straight 188 days. Okay? The 6th one is due. Guess what? Guess what day? The Day of Atonement. The Yom Kippur. September 25th, 26th, of course, because the Sabbath carries into a second day. That's the day the quake is due again. It would be the 6th time in a row that a major quake. And meanwhile, you got these quakes like today. 2 of them. 8.6 and 8.2. What? Are you saved? Send me a personal message. I want to be saved. I want to be saved. I want to be saved.